Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling oddly confused, slightly guilty, or unsure why you agreed to something you didn't want? Nothing dramatic happened. No shouting. No obvious threat. Yet somehow your emotions shifted and not in your favor. That uneasy feeling is often your first clue. Manipulators don't always announce themselves. They don't wear villain masks or speak in obvious lies. In fact, the most effective manipulators seem charming, calm, and even helpful at first. They don't force control. They guide it quietly, subtly, and quickly. The truth is, you don't need months or years to spot a manipulator. With the right psychological lens, you can identify one in minutes by watching patterns, not personalities. This piece will show you exactly how. Manipulation is about control, not personality. Before learning the signs, it's important to understand what manipulation really is. Manipulation isn't about being confident, persuasive, or assertive. Those traits can be healthy. Manipulation is about gaining control over your thoughts, emotions, or decisions without your informed consent. A manipulator wants influence without accountability. They want outcomes without honest negotiation. And they rely on psychological shortcuts, emotional pressure, confusion, guilt, and urgency to get there. The key is this: manipulators don't convince you. You convince yourself using feelings they planted. Number 1. They rush emotional intimacy or agreement. One of the fastest ways to spot a manipulator is to watch how quickly they push closeness or commitment. Healthy people allow relationships, personal or professional, to unfold naturally. Manipulators, on the other hand, accelerate the timeline. They may say things like, "I've never felt this understood so quickly. You're different from everyone else. We're on the same wavelength. No need to overthink this." Why it works: speed bypasses critical thinking. When things move fast, you don't have time to evaluate motives or boundaries. Emotional momentum replaces logic. If someone pressures you to trust, decide, or commit before you feel ready, that's not chemistry, it's strategy. Number 2. They ask personal questions too soon and use them later. Manipulators are excellent listeners, but not for the reasons you think. Early on, they ask deep, emotional questions. What's your biggest fear? Who hurt you the most? What's something you hate about yourself? First, this feels like connection, but pay attention to what happens next. Later, those same vulnerabilities reappear subtly. As guilt, "I thought you trusted me." Or as pressure, "After all I know about you." As leverage, "You said abandonment hurts you, so why are you pulling away?" Healthy curiosity respects timing. Manipulative curiosity collects data. Number 3. They create confusion instead of clarity. One of the most reliable signs of manipulation is mental fog. After interacting with a manipulator, you may think, "Maybe I misunderstood. I'm probably overreacting. That's not what they meant, right?" Manipulators rarely lie outright. Instead, they use vague language, half answers, and shifting explanations. When questioned, they redirect or minimize. "You're reading too much into it. That's not what I said. Why are you making this a big deal?" Psychologically, confusion weakens boundaries. When you doubt your perception, you become easier to guide. A simple rule: healthy communication brings clarity, manipulation leaves residue. Number 4. They use guilt as a steering wheel. Manipulators don't usually demand. They suggest and let guilt do the work. Watch for phrases like, "I guess I'll just handle it myself. If you really cared, you would. After everything I've done for you." This tactic is powerful because it reframes your boundaries as moral failures. You're no longer choosing. You're defending your character. In psychology, this is called emotional coercion. The goal isn't discussion. It's compliance. If saying no repeatedly makes you feel like a bad person, you're likely being manipulated. Number 5. They frame themselves as the victim constantly. Another fast giveaway is persistent victimhood. Manipulators often present a world where everyone misunderstands them, everyone mistreats them, everyone eventually turns on them. First, this triggers empathy. You want to be different. You want to prove them wrong. But this narrative serves a purpose. It preemptively discredits accountability. If conflict arises later, you're already cast as just like the others. In healthy people, pain exists, but responsibility still lives alongside it. Number 6. They test small boundaries early. Manipulators rarely start big. They start small. They interrupt you. They dismiss a preference. They joke about something you said no to. They push just this once. These moments are not accidents. They're tests. If you let the small boundary slide, the next one moves further. This is called incremental erosion, a gradual weakening of your limits without triggering alarms. Pay attention to how someone reacts when you calmly hold a boundary. Respect is instant. Manipulation argues. Number 7. They make you feel indebted. Manipulators often give before they take, but the gift is never free. They help you without being asked. They exaggerate their effort. They remind you of what they've done. Later, that kindness becomes a silent contract. Psychologically, humans are wired for reciprocity. Manipulators exploit this instinct, turning generosity into leverage. True kindness doesn't keep score. The most important test: your nervous system. Here's the fastest way to spot a manipulator, one that bypasses overthinking. Check how your body feels around them. Do you feel tense? Guarded? A pressure to perform? Afraid of saying the wrong thing? Your nervous system processes threat faster than logic. Discomfort without clear reason is often your subconscious detecting inconsistency or control. Calm doesn't mean boring. It means safe. Final thought. Awareness is protection. Manipulators rely on one thing above all else: unawareness. The moment you recognize the pattern, their power drops. You don't need to confront, accuse, or expose them. You just need to slow down, clarify, and protect your boundaries. Healthy people can handle clarity. Manipulators can't. Spotting manipulation isn't about becoming suspicious of everyone. It's about trusting yourself again. And once you do, control loses its grip.